Let's piss some people off.
Lately I've been thinking a lot about where I am in life right now. And honestly, it's been a mix of gratitude and frustration. Because I know I've become a long way. And I know that this version of me is the same woman I used to cry and pray to become. But sometimes, and I found peace. I've healed. I've grown into my strength. But there's also this other part of me that whispers, okay, so, but what's next? What else should I be doing? Why don't I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be yet? And I've been thinking lately a lot about that, and it has been dwelling very, very strong in my mind. And that's where I'm at right now. That space between gratitude and desire, when you know you've evolved, but you also know you're not done yet. And it's really hard to actually deal with that feeling when you are in that transition of like, you know that you've evolved and done a lot, but then again, you want more out of life. And that's where remembering the woman you used to be comes to be. You have to understand that in order for you to get where you are right now, you had to go through multiple of things. So let's go back for a second and think about the woman you used to be, the woman who prayed for the peace you have right now, exactly where you at right now. That woman she wanted stability. She wanted to stop fighting battles in silence. She wanted to feel seen and also to be heard, not only seen. So that version of you will look at yourself right now and say, you did it. If you look back and think about that woman and who you become, you're gonna realize that you're that person right now and you did it. You became the stronger, softer, and freer version of yourself. But when we're in it, it doesn't always feel that way, right? So, because growth doesn't always feel like growth when you are going through that phase. It feels like sometimes it feels like confusion. It feels like exhaustion. It feels like wondering if you're doing, like, even if you're doing enough. And sometimes it just feels like you're standing in between two versions of yourself, the one that used to be and the one that just became. The woman that you grew and the one you're still becoming. And it's so hard to define who you are in that moment because you're still going through a lot of changes in your life. And it's like you're in the hallway between blessings and the lights just keeps, flickering, which is so disturbing. So why we feel unfulfilled, that's where we gotta go to. Because that is the moment that you're feeling kind of like unfulfilled on what you're going through in the moment. So, what I realized? We normalize our blessings so fast that we forget they're even blessings. Our brain gets used to everything we're going through like so fast, and we don't internalize every stage we've gone through. So we've prayed for peace. Now we call it routine because we have peace. We prayed for a voice. For example, I prayed for a voice to have my podcast, and now I call it just a podcast or just creating content because it became part of my routine. We prayed for opportunities. Now we call them to-do lists. Our brain adjusts faster than our spirit, and we have to be in tune with that. And that's why we don't always feel fulfilled. Even when we've grown, even when we've surpassed many things that we wanted in the past. We're always looking at what's next instead of honoring what is in the moment. And that's where I personally have been stuck lately. I love my podcast. I love the people I've met. But also, I know there is more. I want to meet new people. I want to sit with different stories. I want to expand the conversations I'm having. To me, I wake up every day craving more, and that's what's been having me in this state of confusion of like where I'm at, how I've been blessed versus what I feel like I need to do. And it's frustrating. It frustrates me that it hasn't happened yet. So that's the tension right there. Being proud of how far you've come while still craving more. And you got to put yourself in check right there, because dealing with the not yet is not that easy either. So let's talk about it. The hardest part in life, the not yet. You haven't made it to the next milestone. When you can see your next level, but you can't touch it yet when you're doing everything, right? But it's just not clicking, and you are so desperate to get that new milestone. That's when doubt shows up. That's when that voice says, maybe I'm not enough. And you start second guessing everything that you believe about yourself just because things are not progressing at the same pace. And you're like, maybe I missed my moment. But no, you didn't miss anything. You just being prepared for what's to come. Some doors aren't open yet because you are still becoming the person who can walk through them. You cannot walk through that door until you are ready for it. And sometimes you just want to cross those paths so fast, and we get so desperate to do it that we end up confusing ourselves. And honestly, that's the truth. I'm learning right now. Just because it hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means the foundation is still being built in silence. Every not yet season is a training ground, and we have to condition ourselves to believe this to our core. Is building your emotional muscle, your discipline, and your focus for you to be able to perform as required in that next milestone. So instead of fighting it, I'm learning to ask myself a couple questions. For example, what is this moment trying to teach me? What I'm going through right now, what is it teaching me? What good am I taking from this? Also, what's the skill of mindset I need to master before I rise again? Once I get to that level, what else do I need? That's how we turn frustration into fuel to keep on going. Because when you doubt yourself that you can do things or that you mix things, that's what's gonna get you stuck in the process of not leveling up. So when self-doubt creeps in, stop and look back and analyze, because self-doubt only sees the distance between where you are and where you want to be. It doesn't see the mountain you already climbed or everything that you went through. It just keeps questioning exactly who you are. So 5 years ago, you dreamed of being this strong as you are right now. 3 years ago, you prayed to be this peaceful. You're currently peaceful. You have that. A year ago, you were still trying to find your voice, and now you're using it. Look at me. I have my podcast and I'm using my voice. So you're not behind. You're just becoming. Get that through your head. So when that voice says you're not enough, reminded I'm evolving. And keep that in your mind as well. It is so easy to get confused in the process of who are you becoming and what you've been as well. You're both the answered prayer of your past self and the preparation for your next self at the same time. So what do we do when we want more? Okay, so what do? When we know there's another level waiting for us, we just refocus. We stop chasing and start aligning. We stop asking, why hasn't it happened yet? And start asking, how can I prepare myself while I wait for it to happen? Maybe this season isn't about more. Maybe it's about mastery. Maybe it's about to stay still and just mastering where you're at right now. Maybe it's about becoming unshakable where you stand, like building a stronger foundation where you're at right now. Because when the next level comes, it won't be about who works harder. It'll be about who's ready to take the challenge. So if you're in that not yet season, like me, don't give up. Keep learning, keep creating, keep showing up, even when it feels quiet. Your consistency is your calling card. Your peace is your preparation. So when we refocus through gratitude, and that is something we're also going to talk about now. Whenever I start feeling lost, I go back to gratitude. I go back to reliving where I've been. Not that fake surface level gratitude, but the real one. I write down 5 things I used to pray for that I have right now. For things that I have right now that were things that I used to pray for. And I say them out loud. You sometimes don't realize that you have been blessed because it became just naturally to you. Because that reminds me, I'm not unfulfilled. I'm just expanding again. I am not stuck. I am stretching. Gratitude begins and brings you back to center. It reminds you that even when you want more, you already have enough. You have worked for a lot. And you have to sit with that. Go back into your life and remember everything that you didn't have versus what you have right now. It is so much, and you have accomplished so much. So you're allowed to want more and still be grateful. That doesn't make you selfish. That does not make you ungrateful. You are allowed to love your life and still crave that next level after you're done through this phase. That doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you human. And when we have a lot, we tend to want more. And it makes you evolve. That's all it creates. Once you want to level up more, it makes you evolve. So wherever you are right now in gratitude, confusion, or ambition, remember this. You are not lost. You're in the middle of becoming. Because if you're questioning if there's more, yes, there is. You are almost ready to get there. One day you'll look back at this version of yourself and say, she didn't even know it yet, but she was becoming unstoppable. So, and it's like it has been with me until now. I never thought I would get to the point that I am right now. So keep showing up, keep learning, keep believing, never stop working towards your goals, because you are already becoming the woman you used to pray to be. And she is so proud of you. She's so proud of you, you have no idea. If this episode spoke to your heart, share it with someone who's also in their becoming season. Tag me on TikTok and Instagram and tell me one thing you used to pray for that you to have. Let's remind each other we're already walking miracles. So share with your people. Thank you so much for watching. Tag me at TikTok at Spies Gypsy and on Instagram at Spies_Gypsy. And thank you for watching until the end. Until the next one. Love you guys.
And remember, we're unfiltered, unapologetic, and unstoppable. That's that.